As NBA fans were looking for more to talk about during the offseason besides Kevin Durant, well, things got a little bit more interesting because Pat Bev has been traded to the Lakers. Let's talk about that. All right, so I'm gonna keep it real short. It's 12:30 at night, so excuse me for my lack of energy. I'm kind of tired, but here we are because this literally broke out in the middle of nowhere. I was in bed and I get a report on my phone from Woj that Pat Bev's been traded to the Lakers for Talon Horton-Tucker and what, Stanley Johnson. So here's the article report: Patrick Beverley traded to the Lakers. Jazz get Talon Horton-Tucker. Now let's not forget that the Lakers were not willing to trade Talon Horton-Tucker for Kyle Lowry, but for Pat Bev, they was like, that's the one, that's what we need. So the Los Angeles Lakers reached an agreement Wednesday to acquire point guard Pat Bev from the Utah Jazz in exchange for Talon Horton-Tucker, according to Shams of The Athletic. I also believe they said Stanley Johnson was also in this trade. It was a short stay in Utah for Beverley, who arrived in early July as a part of the blockbuster deal sending Rudy Gobert to the Minnesota Timberwolves. The 34-year-old Chicago native is coming off a 21-22 season with the Wolves, where he averaged 9 points, we'll round up 5 assists, 4 rebounds, and a steal across 58 appearances. Not bad. We all know what Pat Bev brings to the table. I think he's going to be good with the Lakers. Let me just get that out the way. He graded out positively at both ends of the floor, ranked 61st among all NBA players and 50-38 WAR metric. I'm not a big numbers guy. I'm not a metrics guy. So if you do know what that means, please let me know in the comments, because educate your boy. But yeah, Beverley told KRIV's Mark Berman getting dealt to the Jazz didn't catch him off guard. He became accustomed to changing teams. Beverley's the 2009 second-round pick, started his pro career in Europe before making his NBA debut with the Houston Rockets during the 2012-13 season. After 5 years with Houston, he's been 4 with the Los Angeles Clippers and 1 with the Wolves. The University of Arkansas product has averaged 8 points, 4 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and a steal in 526 career games. He's often been tasked with guarding the opponent's top guard scorer, highlighted by earning all defensive first team honors 2016-2017. Beverley's represent a low-risk addition for the Lakers. He's constantly reliable defender, which helps offset the offensive slump for the career 41% shooter. And here's the expiring 1-year, $13 million contract, so there's no long-term investment. He should slide in, he should slide in as the chief backup for Russell Westbrook. Like I said, late at night, I apologize. Westbrook following his move to LA, the team's backcourt defense should be tremendous with he's on the floor with Austin Reeves. Now immediately I'm looking at this, and I don't think you make this trade without having another trade already lined up for Russell Westbrook. In my opinion, you just don't do it, because these two players, you know, we know what Pat Bev brings to the table. He's a Mr. 94 feet is what they call him. He's a scrappy defensive player. He can shoot the ball when he needs to. But I don't think as much as I love Russell Westbrook, in my opinion, Lakers fans, like, y'all let me know how y'all feel about what I'm finna say. But do y'all feel like Russell Westbrook should still be on this team now that you have Pat Bev? Now we know Russell Westbrook is still that guy, but I don't think you make this Pat Bev trade and not already have a Russell Westbrook trade lined up somewhere in the back of your mind. That's just my opinion. But yeah, very interesting case. Literally came out of nowhere. The whole league, people on Twitter going crazy. Now, on the other hand, Utah Jazz, we know they're going in a rebuilding mode. We know when they traded Rudy Gobert, that's what it was. There was trade talks about maybe trading Donovan Mitchell. Nothing has come up of that yet, but that's still on the table for them. But I highly doubt that they will. I think Donovan Mitchell is there to stay, because like they said, like they want to build around them, but it kind of seemed like they on the 50 feet, like they want to trade them, or do they not want to trade them? But they continue to get more young players, because as you go on to rebuild more, you want young players. I think Talon Horton-Tucker still has tons of potential. I think fans kind of give up on him after what we seen last season. And again, just remember, they refused to trade Talon Horton-Tucker. Well, I think it was Kyle Lowry. Yeah, I think it was Kyle Lowry or Kyrie. It was one of them, one of the K's. But yeah, they refused to trade him, and they was like, you know what, Pat Bev, I like that. But I I was a big fan of Stanley Johnson when he had his minutes with the Lakers. I think he looked pretty good, so it makes sense that the Utah Jazz we want him and Tyler Horton-Tucker. It makes sense to me. They're both good young players. And with this being said, I think I'm predicting Tyler Horton-Tucker has a breakout year with the Utah Jazz. We know he's a big guard. You know, like he still has a lot to develop, shooting wise. We know he's a decent playmaker. We know he can get you a bucket when needed, but he still has a lot to improve on. And I think this year is going to be a year where like he kind of takes like a jump to be like a decent role player. Maybe hit the starting position some games depending on what Utah decides to do with their lineups. But yeah, so very interesting trade. In the comments, please let me know what y'all thinking. Because yeah, it came out of nowhere. But I'm excited to see Pat Bev and LeBron and Russell Westbrook and AD. As a matter of fact, think about that. I'm loving this Pat Bev trade. Like, I'm loving, okay, no, still have mixed opinions about the trade, but seeing Pat Bev play with LeBron and AD and Russell Westbrook and like the team they have, because we know like the Lakers still barely have a team, but getting Pat Bev, I'm excited. I got league pass this season, so I'm gonna be watching as many, well, they're gonna be on national TV anyway, but I'm gonna be tuning in to many Lakers games to see how this works out. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Hope y'all got some information out of it. Again, in the comments, let me know how y'all feeling, especially if you're a Lakers fan and also Jazz fans. Let me know how y'all feeling. But with that being said, drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'm gonna catch this video. We out of here. Peace. It's been your boy G.